Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. I want to start off by welcoming you to the wonderful world of driving. You know, getting your driver's license is, in a big way, a great feeling of being liberated. In our country of the great USA, if you don't have a driver's license, for some reason you just don't feel like you have the liberty that you want to have. I remember when we got my daughter her first car, she swan dived across the hood of that thing in such excitement, and me and my wife both trembled, because with that liberation comes a lot of responsibility. So I wanted to take a few minutes, give you guys some tips on how to successfully make it from A to B. But if you think about it, that's all driving is. Your ability to get where you want to go. But a lot of people forget the most important thing is getting there safely. As I've already mentioned at the beginning of the video, my name's Robert. Some things that you do not know is I have nearly 1 million miles of driving under my belt. And to my knowledge, I can't remember ever getting into an accident where I actually hit another vehicle. I had a tiny bumper incident where somebody brake checked me and I bumped into the back of their car. Small, tiny thing. Nonetheless, it was a big inconvenience. I had a situation where I was driving a car with bad tires, slid off the road into a ditch. Me and my daughter was in the car. Man, I thought that car was going to actually roll over. Fortunate for me, it didn't. And I've had situations where somebody hit me. Now, the worst incident I had was I actually hit a tire in the road, flipped my car up on 2 wheels, had me scooting down the highway on 2 wheels. Very tragic. But, you know, it turned out okay. So, what I want to do is give to you some tips that will hopefully help you avoid accidents. Because that's what it's all about. Getting to your goal safely. One thing that you likely do not know, that insurance companies will be glad to tell you, is that you are more likely to get into an accident your first 12 months of driving than you are the rest of your life. Accidents happen. They're going to happen. Most of us have experienced them. However, the first 12 months of your driving is when they're more likely to happen, probably 10 times more likely than any other time. One of the reasons are you have too much confidence. Another reason, you're not experienced enough. Another reason, you're trying to be in a hurry when it just doesn't make sense. So, I'm going to give you a challenge. Try to make it through this first year with no accident. And if you do that, you'll probably be a good driver most of your life. One thing you want to do is avoid peer pressure. Don't let people coax you into making mistakes behind the wheel, pressuring you. Hurry up. Run that yellow light. Run that red light. Don't stop at that stop sign. Nobody's around. These are all things that will likely end in you getting in an accident, or you getting some kind of traffic violation ticket that you can't afford to pay or don't want to pay. So, at all costs, always avoid peer pressure. Don't let people pressure you into doing anything behind the wheel that you're not 100% comfortable with doing. Another thing you should know and be aware of. Always try to make sure that any vehicle that you're about to drive is, one, properly registered. You can check that by looking at the registration in the glove box, the sticker on the license plate, or the sticker on the window. You also want to make sure that that vehicle has insurance and that that insurance covers you. If you are not on the insurance policy, or that policy doesn't have uninsured motorists on there, you are likely not covered by the insurance company while driving that car. Now, if you have your own vehicle and you have insurance on a vehicle, or you're on the insurance policy with your parents or something, you're likely covered when driving their cars, but you may not be covered under driving someone else's car. So you want to make sure that the insurance covers you driving other vehicles. Another thing, never drive a vehicle if you don't have your valid driver's license on you. Never ever drive if your license has been suspended or it's expired. Always make sure that you have a valid driver's license on you at all times when driving a vehicle. Another thing you want to know and understand is that the vehicle that you're about to drive is safe and will likely make it to the destination that you're trying to reach. I see people do it all the time. They get into a car with bad tires, underinflated tires, no oil in the engine, and things like that. There's a link in my comment section below that shows what I call a weekly or monthly maintenance check. If you're not familiar with the vehicle, or if you don't know if the person that owns the car has a vehicle in decent shape, check out that vehicle. Glance around real quick before you stick that key in ignition and take off. You don't want to be driving down the road and the police pull you over because the lights on the vehicle don't work. It only has one headlight instead of two. Doesn't have any brake lights, things like that. So know and understand about the condition of vehicles that you're about to drive. A major thing, I don't know why, but people get into a hurry for no reason. Now, most of you will be driving across town. 5 miles, 10 miles, maybe 15 miles. I promise you, it is not worth racing from traffic light to traffic light, driving down the 2 miles worth of interstate that you'll get on 5, 10, 15 miles an hour over the speed limit when you're not going to really save any time. Like I said, I've driven nearly 1 million miles. I've tried it. I've checked it. I used to drive 10, 15 miles to work. One time I drove there like the back of my car was on fire. Another time I drove there like I didn't have to be there for 2 hours. Driving aggressive and crazy in a 15, 18 minute drive only saved me 2 minutes. So I could lay back, take my time, be safe, be careful, and it would only cost me 2 minutes. And that's on an 18-minute drive. So if you're going on a 5 or 10 minute drive, you ain't even going to save a minute driving like a maniac. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And unless you have tons of experience, you're probably going to have an accident. And I promise you, most of the people on the road, the crazy people that's cutting you off, the maniacs that's having road rage alongside of you, you don't want to meet those people face to face. You don't want to spend 5 or 10 minutes with them. You don't want the police giving them your personal information with your address on there. Don't do it. Take your time, get to where you want to be safely. Understand that there are people that are not going to approve with the way you're driving. Now, I promise you, with all the experience I have, me taking my time, not rushing, trying to be courteous to elderly people. You know, a lot of people don't realize this, but some elderly people behind the wheel, they're terrified to be driving. But hey, they like that liberty. They don't want to depend on nobody. So they get out there on the road and they do their best to make it from A to B. Be courteous of those elderly people. They're not in a hurry. And even if you're careful, you're courteous, and you take your time, there are going to be people that are not going to approve with the way you're driving. I pride myself with being a good, safe driver. Just in the past week, 2 or 3 people have approved my driving techniques with the one finger salute. I don't know why they did it. Maybe, just maybe, I cut somebody off and didn't see him. If I'm trying to be safe and I don't see him, imagine if I'm being reckless. I got the one finger salute today. Somebody's signed approval on my driving techniques. Earlier this week, I got the one finger salute from an elderly person. They were driving 20. The speed limit was 35. I wasn't even that close to the back of them. I was glad when they turned off. They actually turned the same turn I was turning. They pulled over. I went around them. And that's when they gave me the one finger salute on the approval of me being behind them. You can't win for losing. So, the tip is, everybody's not going to approve when you're driving. But more importantly, don't engage in other people's road rage. Don't let them get under your skin. Don't let them follow you home. If you find somebody is upset with the way you're driving, drive around the block. Drive around somewhere. Don't take them to your house. And if you're really uncomfortable, just call the police. 1 out of 4 people driving vehicles are probably intoxicated by some chemical or alcohol. Many of them have no control over their emotions. They're crazy people. You don't want to meet them. Ignore them when they get in their road rage. Okay, this is really last but not least. Do your best not to drive distracted or impaired by tiredness or some kind of medication or something like that. It's a big safety deal. You don't want to do things that are unsafe that can jeopardize you getting from A to B safely or damaging somebody's vehicle or your own. Man, it is a great liberating thing to have the ability to drive somewhere. If you're distracted with your telephone, with the car stereo, with some kind of chemical or something or alcohol, and you have an accident, chances are you're not going to be driving for a while. So don't risk your liberty of driving being distracted or something like that. It's not worth it, you know. So congratulations on getting your license. I wish you have the safety and success that I believe I've had, even though I've had a few things happen. And just more important than anything else, be safe. I'm out. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.